recording on this call now, so I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. I'm sorry for everything you had to go through, and I appreciate you talking with us this weekend. But today we got video from the officer. He was wearing a camera, and we saw the video of what happened.
Oh, yeah.
So we're doing a sort of a follow-up story. I was wondering if you could just sort of first tell me what you saw on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, as I was stated, excuse me, as I stated before, we was at a wedding Saturday, and the young lady came in after the wedding and was very upset and crying, and we asked her what was wrong, and she would tell us that she had received threatening calls from Terence in reference to that he wanted to kill her, etc. And at that time, we told her that we didn't believe, that he was serious about nothing like that, that he didn't even have a gun. And that's when she informed us, yes, he do have a gun. He bought it Friday, and he showed her and stated to her that he bought it for the intent of shooting her. One bullet had her name on it. So after that, we informed her that this is serious and we need to contact the police, et cetera, because there's too many people up here, and we didn't want no one to get hurt.
Right.
At that time, we received a knock on the door, and another young lady came and informed us that he was outside in the parking lot. So we went out to try to intervene to make sure nothing took place. We kept her on the inside. So by that time, the mother had called him to try to talk to him to find out, what was he so upset about, et cetera. And he stated to the mother, for her to come outside and she'll see exactly what he's talking about. Out in the parking lot, he was talking to another young lady, and he was showing her a letter that he was upset about because the young lady had wrote another gentleman during the time after they had broken up, and he was mad about that and saying things like, she think I'm playing, but I'm going to show her for real, and et cetera. She allowed us to hear the phone call on speakerphone when he called her, threatening her, and she tried to explain to him that she was at a wedding and there was 100-something people there, and he stated to her that that didn't matter, he was going to roll up on her anyhow, et cetera. And so by that time, the police came, and they began to talk to him and asked him, did he have any weapons or anything on him that would harm him, one officer. And he said no. And so the officer said, well, I'm going to ask you to put your hands on your back. And when the officer began to put his hands behind Terrence's back, the officer kind of like a gentle pat down around his waist, etc. And at that time, the officer changed his voice and, said, put your hands behind your back, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And Terence jerked away from the officer, and the handcuffs, go up, fall on the ground, etc. And Terence began to run. The officer began to chase him and call in for bag up, et cetera, et cetera. And in the process of running, something fell out of Terence's pocket, and he reached down to pick it up. And the officer began to fire at him and several shots. And then Terence kind of like stopped and turned around and faced the officer. And then that's when that last shot evidently must have hit him in the chest because he went down at that time. And that was it.
Wow. And you saw all of that right in front of you.
Well, yeah, I was standing beside the officer while he was handcuffing Terence, and then I was running towards Terence because I wanted to try to catch Terence, before the officer had to reach him, right. So that no shooting would have to take place. Mm-hmm.
Did you think the officer was justified in shooting him?
Well, I mean, that's a hard thing, you know. I mean, the officer knew he had a weapon, and when he turned towards the officer, I'm quite sure the officer felt threatened. So each man has to, you know, make their own judgment, you know.
Right. When the officer started firing, was Terence's back toward you guys?
Yeah, I would say the first couple of shots, his back was, he was running, both of them was running, so I would say his back was towards him the first couple of shots, right.
You said something fell out of Terence's pocket or his waistband?
Yeah.
Was that the
right.
gun?
I don't know. I thought it was a cell phone. I don't know. I just seen it fall out, and he reached down to pick it up.
I see.
Right.
What did the officer do afterwards? Did he seem upset, or was he just sort of getting the job done?
Afterwards, you know, he was just trying to tell the crowd to stand back while he was calling the ambulance to come to the scene and calling for bag up. And then after that, when his bag up came, he was very upset, and he broke down, was crying and beating the car and stuff.
Wow, the officer did that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that seems like a sad thing to see happen to
yeah.
everyone.
Right.
And it was a wedding, you said, so there were quite a few people there.
Yeah, the parking lot was full of people, you know.